Well, hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Paul Adams from the Amazon Gorillaz.
And I'm Rob Fortney, and we're going to show you how to find a product today.
And not just find a product, but find a product using a brand new piece of software that we've had the privilege of using as a beta. It's now going live. So we've been testing this for probably about 4 weeks now. So we're really excited to bring this brand new way of trying to find a new product with this awesome piece of software. Now, the software is AZanalyzer. Now, some of you may have seen us use the AZoptimizer, and this is part of the same family. So the Analyzer is the brand new section of the software suite, and this is what we're going to be looking at today. So let's jump straight in. So this is basically what they've got to say on their sales page. And what we're going to do here is I've got a few slides. So we're going to go through some slides, and then I'm going to go over live and show you how to actually use the software and have a look at the results and how powerful those results actually are with respect to giving you that information. There's so much information it gives you. It's great. So what they say here, the statement is really good. It's the Amazon research made easy. And it really is. We give you a profitable products to sell. Too many programs out there, they're saying, and I think this is right, give you a lot of information without telling you what the information is, or they give you a snippet of information which is sort of giving you some false information. In other words, if you're just tracking one item, how can you tell whether that niche is good or not? Well, you can't really. And I think this is what this whole software is really geared around. And on the bottom here, it's looking at analyzing the entire niche for the best profit. And this is exactly what this product does. And this is why this is so powerful.
Hey, Paul.
And I'm not sure whether this is a play on words, but it's an inaccurate jungle out there. And I think this is...
Oh, you're not projecting anything. I don't know if you're intending to. You're not sharing your screen, I guess.
Oh, sorry. I do apologize.
There you go.
That was a bit of a slip up, wasn't it?
That's all right.
Right. So let's just catch up on where we were. So this is basically the when you go on the front page, we'll have a look at this when we move forward. But what they're saying is it is a jungle out there, and it's an inaccurate jungle because some of the information that some of the other programs give you, we've been using that for a long time, and it's quite difficult to actually understand some of the data that you're actually trying to analyze with respect to, is this product a viable product or not? Now, we've always said it's not the actual product itself, it's the niche you need to be looking at. But there's no program out there that really takes that into account. It's all track one product. And that one product is inevitably the best-selling product in the front page, or one of the products on the front page of the search results. Consequently, you're sort of getting some either really, really good information which can lead you down the wrong path, or inaccurate information that you're going to make a judgment call upon, going into a product where it could well be the wrong decision. But here, as you'll be able to see, it's a very powerful piece of software because it doesn't just track one item. It tracks the whole page, the whole niche, and a number of different keywords as well, which I really, really like about it. Like I say, I'm going to go into live in a minute, but let's just jump into the next slide. Now, these are some of the features of the program. And it says here, stop looking at one SKU or one ASIN, one product, basically, and expecting it to show you the health of the entire niche, which is basically what I was just saying. This analyzer gives you the data on the whole niche. And it also gives the information on each single SKU, allowing you to make a view with respect to, is there room for improvement? Now, you can see this particular chart here is a nice, colorful, impactful chart with respect to the title. It's 76% complete. In other words, there's room for improvement. And this is color coded, so it's a green is pretty good. Yellow stroke amber is a little bit more room to maneuver. In other words, it's not quite as good. Red means it's a pretty poor job. And what they're doing here is it's analyzing a particular ASIN and looking at room for improvement if you get into this particular product. All right. And again, we'll have a look at this as we move forward. The next step is check a product's viability. Now, this is a pretty good calculator. And what you're doing here is you can either do a keyword or you can do custom ASINs. And I think you can do up to about 5 different ASINs in here. So in other words, if you've got a particular product you're looking at, you can, from the results page of the Amazon search, you can have a look at, I would say, five individual products, take their ASINs and put them into this, and that will work out what the FBA fees are, what the landed costs are. Well, you need to have a look at that, but you can do some various different calculations. And the other good thing about this is that you can actually choose the risk level that you want to actually start your business at. And again, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on that later on. You also look at maximum investment. In other words, what is your budget you're going to start the business on? And you can get an answer with respect to, this is not enough money based upon the information you provided, or yes, the investment is enough money, and we think it's a viable product. And again, this is really, really powerful information you can get from this, which we'll see. Right. Hello.
So one of the things that I think is super important here is these were all things that were addressed in the process of building this software. And one of the problems that we've been talking about for 2 years is that, people would say, hey, I'm looking at this product. It's in position 10 and it sells 300 units a month, and that's my product. Well, I mean, you're looking at a category full of 150 or 500 competitors, and you're deciding that the one guy you're going to take on is on page 1. Like, you couldn't even possibly focus on him. Like, he's not even a legitimate, contender for you as you're just starting out. You're not going to rank with this guy. What makes you think you're going to, well, I'm going to sell what he sells? Well, why? Like, what is it you're doing that's special that out of the gate you're going to somehow compete with someone who's been up there for multiple years, reviews, has momentum, has everything going on, and you're to compete with that guy? Well, no, you're competing with the 500 other people, not just him. So I love the fact that this software does that and allows you to be able to look at a whole category. That is one of the things I see missing in a lot of these product search softwares, that is just missing. The second thing is that this is live and not recorded. There are some other software programs out there that store their stuff in a database. I don't think it's as up to date, and which a lot of times will result in the same results. So that's something to be cautious with, as well as the biggest thing was that these software programs didn't give you any answers. They just went in and analyzed and then said, hey, some of them now have what we call an opportunity score, but that's very basic. I looked at something the other day in our criteria, and it said that, the opportunity was like a 3 out of 10. And this is something that had, less than 60 competitors and 30 people were making money. And if 30 people out of 60 are making money and there was huge variation, it's an ideal product, yet somehow, the thing scored it as a 3 as an opportunity. Now, again, that the opportunity score has to do a lot with the person programming the material. So you don't know for sure, what their criteria is. So, and as I understand, you could set some of those parameters for yourself here. So now, you're able to listen to what we talk about, and maybe what others talk about, depending on, what strategy you're following. But if you're following a Gorillaz strategy, you can set it up so it will give you that information out based upon what your parameters you're looking for. And then it will give you tons of information that you just didn't have before. You didn't have something that produced answers. You had something that produced data. And I've been screaming that for 2 years. There's a bunch of data out there, and that's why we ultimately created the Super Product Selector, was because there was all this data, but no one was asking any questions. So ultimately what they did was they took the Super Product Selector version, you know, of all these different questions that we had, and they stuck it inside this program, and now it's able to give you an answer out the other side when you put in data. And again, that's not an end all the world answer, but that's giving you a much more likelihood of success based upon the parameters that you're looking for. So again, it's another step up in the process of looking for a product. And I'm super excited about this product. I think that it is going to give people a lot of information that they weren't getting before, and give them some more vision and some more confidence in picking a product.
100% agree. Yeah, this, I think, here is a step up from what we've seen before.
And Paul, and just to let everybody know, one of the things that you know, in this business, obviously we, if you purchase this, you know, we're going to get a commission on it. Straightforward with you guys on that. But here's what we're always willing to do for that. If you purchase this software through our link, we're going to give you an hour-long session of training. Nobody on the planet does that. So, you know, we're not really interested in doing something for nothing. And so if you were to purchase this product, you know, from our link in the description, then we're going to sit down with you for an hour and do a training session. Sometimes we do them one-on-one. Sometimes we do them with 3 or 4 people. It depends on how many people are signing up at that moment. But we'll definitely sit down with you and help train you personally. And while we're doing that, we'll also talk about strategy and questions you might answer. So it's a heck of a bonus to be able to, you know, purchase with us, and we're going to give you something back that I think is probably way more valuable than any of the commission that we'd get.
It's all about helping. So absolutely. Right. This one here is all about profitable products. So this is basically the results page of, if I just go flick back one, okay, this is where we're trying to find the costs. Okay. So if I now hit analyze on that, which we'll do in a minute, it will come up with the basic costs, and you can see that the retail price here is $18.99. We've got the FBA fees in here. We've got various different other fees, and it gives us down the bottom here the net profit, and it says this product shows a normal return on investment, or ROI. The profit margin is 31.44%. So we can actually start to see some interaction back, as opposed to just trying to work out the numbers. Is this good? 31%? Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. This program starts to tell us. So we're taking the guesswork out.
And those are things, Paul, that before we were hand calculating, estimating, you know,
yes.
They're having to come up with data on where these products came from. I mean, these were things that would come, you know, you wouldn't even get into that cost until you had to go through a bunch of stuff, and by the time you got to that level to ask that question, I mean, you've already spent, you know, 30 minutes on looking at one product, or an hour or 2 hours or whatever it might be. You have to spend all this time. This gives you the ability to be able to start getting data very quickly, very early on, to make decisions. And the bottom line is how quick can you make a decision because you have the right data and you have the right information, as opposed to trying to figure it out on your own. And this software allows you to get answers before, you know, you have to spend tons of time. It's all about time, because there's a likelihood that if you're starting this business that you don't have a ton of time to dedicate every day, 3 or 4 hours a day. You've got a job, probably, you've got other things you're doing. And if that's the case, that at the end of the day, you know, if you take and you got an hour every day you can dedicate to this, because it's your new business, in between taking care of the kids or going and doing your stuff that you have to do in your life, it's just part of it, and your job, you need to be able to get something that sucks away your time. That's what tools do. Tools save time, and that's why we use them. I mean, it's really more than that. I think it's just tools give you the confidence that you need to make decisions because you have good data.
Yeah, that's it. You've got it. Nail on the head, I think. So like we said, we're getting some interaction back from the software at the moment, which is a first. Let's have a look at the next thing. Analyze the entire niche. And what they're doing here is, and again, it's a reiteration here, is stop looking at one SKU, look at the whole niche. Okay, and down here, this is, we'll have a look at this later. We're going to zoom in when we go live, but it's basically an analysis of a summary of the whole niche itself. And we can look at certain characteristics of the whole page of results with respect to how good is the listing on all the whole page, not just one particular product. All right, so this is really good, really good. I love it. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close this down, and I'm going to go into the program live. So let's start to have a look at that. So I really want to do start the analysis on this. So let me do that. So let me close that. So basically what we got is, this is it. All right, so you basically land on the page, you go follow the link, you set yourself up an account, and you land on this particular page. Now once you sign up, you'll be able to get directly into here. This is the first slide that I had. You can see that on here, nice and clear there. Don't worry, if there is an instruction video you can click on. There's two videos actually. There's a short version, 25 minutes. There's also the hour-long version. That's over here. That's in Vimeo, so you can basically click through that and watch that in your leisure. But basically, I just want to dive in. All right. So the first place to go is straight over to the analyzer. So if we click on the analyzer, now I've got a few pages.
The one thing
preloaded here. It does take a bit of time to load up.
Paul,
go ahead, Rob.
All right. The one thing that I would suggest is watch those videos, please. I mean, don't be like the person who doesn't use a map or use their Google when they're lost. Get in there and watch those videos. It's well worth it to get more training. We're going to give you a bunch of it, but you know, there's more training with another perspective that will give you much more insight. So watch both of them, please.
Yeah, they do help. They do help, and they're basically made so you can see the initial as 2331 here, and you got the hour-long instruction video link, which takes you back to that Vimeo page that I had here. So basically, what I'm going to do now is just scroll down, and I'm going to start analyzing. What I'll do is I'll see if I can increase the resolution on my screen, so we can see what we're doing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the instructions with what the video does and use their particular sort of product as a case study. So in this particular case, we're going to be looking for a copper magnetic bracelet. All right, so I'm going to stick with the keyword. So you could actually go to, like I said, customs earlier, custom ASINs, and you can see that the top 5 ASINs, you can put the ASINs in there. And in fact, you can put a lot more ASINs in here with respect to sort of various different styles, for example. So, yeah, we're looking at magnetic bracelets here, copper magnetic bracelets. You may want to put in some plain copper bracelets without the magnets in, just to see how that mixes things up. But for this case, I'm going to stick with the keyword, and I'm going to put in copper magnetic bracelet. You can see I've already got that preloaded. So the next thing we do is look at the ASIN's closest competitor, okay, or one of the sort of the closest things we want to be selling for. So if you're unsure about what these means, you got a question mark over here. So if you just hover over those, it's a very clear description with respect to what this means. So if you do not have an ASIN, in other words, your own product, then use a competitor's ASIN, okay? Be as close to the exact match as possible. In other words, pick the product that you are most likely to source. All right, so let's go and find that. So I've already got Amazon open. All right, so I've got in copper magnetic bracelet. So I'm just going to scroll down and let's have a look at this one here. I quite like that for me being a guy. That's a little bit bigger than this smaller one here. So I'm just going to open this up, which I have done over here. So that looks pretty cool. It's got the magnets in the back. It's copper. Yeah, it looks good. I like it. I'm going to go with this one. So what I do now is copy down this ASIN number. Now, there's two places to find the ASIN number if you're not too sure where to find that. First place is up on the URL. You can see that in blue already. So that'll be after the description. Then it'll be 2 letters. It's always DP / and your ASIN always starts with B, and then a number of numbers and characters. Or the other place you can find that is if you scroll down in the description area, you should be able to find the ASIN. Here we go, look, ASIN just down here. Okay, so what you do is just copy that ASIN. So I'm just going to do Control-C because I'm on a Windows. I'll come back to the analyzer. Okay, so I shall put in my ASIN there. So paste that in. Okay, retail price. So let's have a look and see how much this product was being sold for. And I'm basically going to say, okay, I'm going to assume that if I sell this product, I'm going to be selling it for a similar price. So that's $36.99. So I'll come back here and I'll put in $36.99, 36.99. All right. So cost to bring the product into FBA, right? And so if you're not too sure how to do this, you need to go and find the product. So anyway, if we just click on this particular field, you'll be able to see what happens next. And that's going to open up a separate window for us to add a little bit more data into that. Okay, so while that's doing that, what you need to now do is go off and do a little bit of research with respect to trying to find something as close as, just so we can get the data to input here. And we're going to be doing that on Alibaba. Okay, so we can now see this pop-up window. So it's asking for product cost, shipping cost, and some other parameters. We can then make a calculation. All right, so let's go over to Alibaba, which I've already got open. And I've already got in a particular search term up here. This is copper magnetic bracelet. So I'm going to scroll down and see if I can find something similar to what we were looking for over here. It doesn't need to be exactly the same, but something similar. In other words, it's brushed copper. It's suitable for, I would say, a guy. And it's got some magnetics in the back there. So let's try and scroll down, see if we can find something similar to that. That's similar, but I would say it's a little bit pricey, a little bit too thin. Well, this looks like it here. So this MOQ of 200 pieces, $6.20. See what else we've got. See if we can find anything else. That's not quite the same. This one that looks a little bit different. This looks pretty close. This one looks all right. I quite like this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open that up and have a look at some of the details on here. So that's not exactly the same, but I think it's more suitable for a guy. It's brushed copper. It's got the magnets in the back. I'd wear this if I was into this product. Yeah, I quite like this. So we can have a look at this. It's got 200 MOQ, perfect to start out with a product. The pricing is $420 to $450. We're not too sure what the actual number is, but on the face value, we can actually do this. In order to get an accurate, once you actually decide to move forward with this, you'd obviously need to reach out to the supplier to confirm the prices and the MOQs. But for this exercise, the face value on Alibaba is pretty okay, because what we've done is we've scrolled down and they're all thereabouts the right price. Yeah, some are a little bit higher, some are a little bit lower. But I'm happy enough with that one we've chosen. The price is about right. Call it $5, something like that. So that was, yeah, that was okay. This one here, I like that. So I'm going to go with this. So I'm going to call it the $4.50. All right. So let me come back over to the analyzer. All right. So product cost is $4.50. So I'm going to put that in there now. Shipping cost. Now, if you're brand new to this, it's a bit of a guessing game, but I've been doing this for a while, so I know there's going to be probably about $1 to bring this product in by the time we've done all of the shipping costs and everything like this. To start with, you would have to contact the supplier with respect to, do they supply packaging? Is it going to come in a poly bag? Does it come in a nice presentation box? And all the rest of it. You need to decide with respect to, you're going to launch this product with a nice presentation box, or is it going to come in a cardboard box, or just a poly bag? So for this exercise, we're just going to leave it. We're going to assume that it's going to come in some sort of packaging. We're going to go at $4.50. Shipping costs are going to put down as $1. Now, the next attribute here they're looking for is PPC. Now, this is your paid advertising or sponsored ad costs inside Amazon once you start to go. So again, if you're not sure what it is, just hover over. Oh, it's hidden at the back there. So it's a bit of a glitch in the program there. But basically what that is what they're saying is, like, you're going to contribute 20% of your budget to advertising. All right. You can change this. You can change it. You can put that down to 10. You put it up to 50. You can put it wherever you want. But 20 is about the average. So I'm just going to leave that at 20% of my budget I'm going to put in there. Go ahead, Rob.
I just got to say, like, you know, the fact that the advertising, marketing budget, all of that information, we used to all have to do by hand and create spreadsheets and calculate this. It would take so long. It would be incredible how long we would have to spend. This is going to save super tons amount of time. And one of the things about shipping, let's assume it's the middle of the night and you can't figure this out and you're really trying to get an answer for yourself as far as the weight, you know, on the shipping. And we talk about this all the time, but if you want to get a quick estimate, you know, about $5 to $6 per kilogram. So that'll kind of give you a rough estimate if you can't get somebody on the phone and get you an answer right then. If you're filling out the shipping cost, that's a great way to kind of estimate some of this stuff. If you're just trying to move through to make decisions about a product, whether you should spend more time, because time is ultimately everything that we're dealing with. How much time do we have to do what we're trying to do? And so if we're trying to save time, we're trying to figure out, hey, should I just move on? You know, I would also like to overestimate high and then know that I can bring that number down, you know, as I get into it.
Yeah, it's a good way of estimating. You're right. But you need something in there. You need something, and don't leave it blank. Don't put it down to zero, because you know, it does cost you something to bring it in. So let's leave that at around $1. I think that's about right for this product. Miscellaneous costs, if you want to put anything miscellaneous down there, like additional packaging, you say, no, I definitely want a really nice presentation box or anything like that. This is the area to put that in. So basically what we do now is press calculate. All right, so these three areas here, you can put the miscellaneous in. Don't put anything down if it's a net profit. Don't put anything in for the net margin. This is what is going to be calculated. So let's hit the calculate button. Right, and it's now done everything for us. So it's taken into consideration the retail price, all of the FBA fees, shipping, landed costs, all of our additional costs that we're going to be looking at. And what it's saying here is that we estimate that the net profit is going to be $14.46. And that's what it's saying here is this product shows a normal return on investment, or ROI. Okay, profit margin, 39.10%, 39.10%. This product shows a normal profit margin. If you're happy with that, okay, if you're happy with that, press use this calculation, and it's going to use this set of data into the main folder that we were looking at earlier, that main sort of form. Okay, so I'm happy enough with this. 39% profit margin is pretty okay. It's telling me it's normal. So I'm happy with normal for this case. So I'm going to use this calculation. So it's now put that in the back end of this form. Okay, right. Now let's have a look at select risk tolerance. All right, I'm just going to read this for you. So your risk tolerance determines if a product is considered a good fit for your company. Now, bearing in mind, this is not a game. It is a company that you're setting up. It's a real business. All right. Low risk products typically do not require a large initial investment. Products of this type are a good place to start if you're a new seller or a newbie on Amazon. While it is significantly easier to make a profit on this type of product, it will not give you a significant return on your investment. In other words, it's going to take longer. It's going to, it's going to take some money, and it's going to generate some money, but it's not going to go and get you the yacht or the new car just on this one particular product if you're going in at a low risk level. The medium risk level will take a larger initial investment, but the returns will be slightly larger. Okay. When you're looking at the high risk products typically require a significantly larger initial investment than the lower or medium risk products. Products of this type require an expert knowledge in selling on Amazon. These products are suitable for experts only, and competition will be fierce. All right. So in other words, if we chose iPad or iPhone cases or something like really popular, this would be a high risk strategy. Now, in this case, what I'm going to select, I'm going to go with low risk, but guaranteed small return. All right, because I'm assuming this is going to be my first product, or first or second product. So I'm not going to be investing too much at this stage. So I'm going to go low risk, but I want a guaranteed small return. Basically, I'm looking to build my business slowly and steadily. Okay, maximum investment involved. In this case, okay, this I'm going to go a little bit more than what I normally would. I'm going to put $6,000 in because, like I said, I'm just basically what I'm doing here is trying to get the right information out, and I'm copying basically some of the training aspects, and this $6,000 is one of those. And I'll explain why I've put $6,000 in later, or no, I won't explain it. The software will explain it, which is the really cool thing. Right. Now we've got our details in, so we've worked out what our cost to bring it in. We had that other pop-up window come up. We've got our risk level and our initial investment. Now you could put 20,000 in it, and it's going to say, yeah, that's more than enough. Or if you put 500 in, that's going to tell you, well, that's not enough. And we'll see that in a minute. So I'm going to press Analyze now. Okay. Now this does take a little bit of time to come up. So let's see how quickly this rolls forward. If it takes too long, then I do have the window open already. So basically what it's doing at the moment is calculating all of this. It's going off to get the data from this particular ASIN. It's then searching that first page of results, okay? And it's going to come back with a lot of information, Now, let me just start to scroll down here. And it's going to give us the good, bad, or the ugly rating. Now, it's going to be color-coded. So if it's a bad idea, it's going to be colored red. And you can see it sort of goes pink as it goes to the average. The average is yellow, and then it goes to light green. And it's a really good idea, it'll be a dark green. Okay. Now, these spinning wheels here at the moment, don't forget that we chose the low risk, low reward. So it's this particular result that we're waiting for. We're not waiting for the medium risk, medium reward, or the high risk or high reward because we didn't actually select that. So it's the one on the left that we're waiting for to come up. And as we potentially go down, or as we go down here, I just read the word potential, it's going to come up with alerts. All right. And we can already see an alert in here. This is potentially a gated product. All right. So if we go back over here to the actual product itself, we should be able to scroll down and have a look at the category this product is in. And I bet it's in jewelry. It's clothing, shoes, and jewelry, which is a gated area. All right. So if you're already ungated in this, then that's fine. If you're going to go with this, make sure you can get ungated if you're not already ungated. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck with inventory that you can't even get into FBA because you're not allowed to actually sell that product because you haven't got the privileges to. So you need to make sure that you've got the correct authorization to actually sell this product, for example. Okay, so let's go back to the analyzer where we are. Oops. Right, so it's now stopped spinning, so we can see our copper magnetic bracelet. We selected low risk, low reward. This is dark green, all right, so which is great. So we're over on a good idea because we've selected the risk level of low risk, low reward. Okay, and again, wherever you see a question mark, you can hover over that and it will give you a quick description of what that is. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm not worried about these two because we didn't select those. Right, so let's come down to the alerts. We already know that we've had a look at that, and it is in a gated category that we would need to address. I'm not ungated in that, so it would be a potential issue for me unless I know that I could get ungated in clothing and jewelry. Right, this is the good stuff. Our product feedback. All right, you chose the keyword copper magnetic bracelet. That's the keyword that we actually done the search on. This keyword has a high search volume of 112,637 searches per month inside Amazon. All right, not on Google, not on Bing, not anything else like this, not on YouTube. Inside Amazon, 112. It was 112,637 a month. That's a pretty good number to have. Your original choice of low risk is consistent with this product's choice. Excellent. This keyword contains products that are best suited for low risk, low reward risk profile, which is the one we chose. So that matches up nicely. That's good information we're getting back. And by the way, I don't know any other program out there, anywhere, that gives you this information. You are out there and you have to work this on your own. Okay, so this little paragraph here is absolute dynamite gold. It really is. So let's carry on. This risk profile shows that this product is best suited if you only want to provide a small initial investment of $3,853. Okay, so that's way under our 6,000 we initially put in there.
Hey, Paul.
Hello.
And one of the things I want to say about that is realize that this is when you buy the sufficient amount of inventory to be in this market. Now, if you're just doing the product test and evaluate, which is that first 100 to 200 to test this product, at least to be able to get some idea what's going on in there, obviously that number isn't as much. You can do it for much less. So that's just a side note to that number is really for when you do a full-on product launch after you do testing, which we recommend on the front end.
That's very true. Yeah, this is assuming that you're going to stay on page one. You're on page one, then that's where you're going. So it's going to here. It's a good place to start if you're a newbie on Amazon. While it is while it is significantly easy to make profit on this type of product, it will grow slow, which we mentioned earlier, and it will provide a potential cash flow of $6,300 per month. All right, so basically you're looking at almost doubling your money. It appears the investment plan that you chose is suitable at $6,000 because we know that our initial investment is $3,800. Okay. It also reminds us again that the product category is gated. So we need to have a look at that and be sure you are or are able to get ungated if you're moving forward with this product. The results of the page one listing audit show that you will be able to optimize your listing in comparison with the competitors. Okay, where else do you get this information? A well-optimized listing using AZanalyzer, the one that we've used before, and the one I mentioned earlier, will be able to gain competitive advantage. Okay, this is the line that everybody wants to see. Okay, surely it is our opinion that this product has potential based upon the information you provided. Bring it on. All right. So if we're interested, what we can do is we can track this keyword, and I've already pressed that, and I'll have a look at that in a minute. But there's another one here. Look, reverse ASIN. Reverse ASIN. Let's have a look at that. So if I'm just going to press this, okay. So, and again, this is going to generate the results for me. But again, this is dynamite information that's going to come through. Let's scroll down while we're waiting for that. Minimum investment. We know there's going to be 3,800. It told us up there. We've got the minimum MOQ required. And this is to basically get your product launched and get onto page one. And that's what it's saying there is this is the minimum amount of product you would need to be available in order to stay on page one. You need to make sure you've got 252 units in stock all the time, basically. Okay, minimum sales to per day to rank on keywords. It's 2 units. We need to make sure that we can sell 2 units a day. All right. This is basically where we are with respect to moving forward and staying on page one once we've done our initial launch to get there. This is what they're talking about with respect to optimizing your listing. Okay, that's what it's done is analyzed. Now, this is not this single SKU. This is the whole front page. Okay, now includes overall quality of the product listings. Each portion of the rank is important. Okay, that's basically what it's done is taken the whole page, whole front page of results. Okay, and looked at everything in there and said, you know what? You do have room to improve on the title. You do have room to improve on your bullet points. You've definitely got room to improve on the characters. In other words, the length of the bullet points and the description. Your images, you've got a lot of room to improve there. The amount of reviews. Well, obviously, if you're just starting out, you're not going to get hundreds of reviews straight off. So you would need to build that up. But what it's saying is it's not insurmountable with respect to being able to get those reviews and overtake and get in a better position once you've got those reviews. Star ratings as well. There's a few products on here, obviously, that got a lower star rating. In other words, a 3 out of 5, 3.5, 4 out of 5, whatever. Product ranking as well. In other words, the BSR, where you are. And again, there's a lot of area that you can move there, so which is really good. Download report. Our report's now ready, so I'm just going to quickly download this. I'm just going to put it on the desktop for now. So it's on a Windows. It comes up down the bottom here. So I'm just going to open this up. It's going to come up in Excel. And what it's done, okay, what it's done is that's given me some absolute gold dust, or gold nuggets, I think, because what it's done is had a look at that ASIN. It's also had a look at all of the other products on the first page of results on Amazon. It's then gone in to scrape the back end and had a look at the keywords on the listings. Okay, and it's basically giving me the search results per month for all of these keywords that are being used throughout the front page. Not one product, not the product that we're looking at. It's the whole results of the first page. Okay, now some of these obviously I'm not going to use, like design. It's too broad. It's nonsense. Face. I'm not going to be able to use face in my keyword campaign or any of my optimizing of my page. However, if I go to the top here, I could look at something like copper arthritis bracelet, 171,684 results. Let me just zoom in a bit for you guys. So what it's done here is it's given me, all right, I haven't even got to think about it. I just pressed the button twice. 1, go and get it. 2, download it. And I've now got all of this information with respect to new keywords that I can now go in. So what I can do now is arthritis bracelet. I'm going to use that one next time, I think. So I shall highlight that in yellow and go, you know what, I'm going to run this an analytic tool again. I'm going to run the AZanalyzer, and I'm going to run it for arthritis bracelet. You know, and maybe another one I could use bracelet magnets. You know, so basically what you're going to do throughout here is keep on using some of these keywords and just going through the process again, and just going to get so much information from this. It's incredible. Right, so let's come back down into the software itself. Detailed report. This is the screenshot I had to start with respect to the detailed report. These are the results of the front page of the result on Amazon. Okay, so we can see the ASIN there. We can see what the product is. Bullet points. Now, this is not just any old information. It's pretty good information with respect to how the listing is optimized. Bullet points. It's got 5 bullet points. All right, fair enough. It's got 1,206 characters in those bullet points. That's reasonable. Description. You're allowed 2,000 characters in your description. This is pretty much maxed out. So that one's pretty good. 8 images. You're allowed 9. So it's got 1 short there. It's got a 4.4 star rating. It's got 459 reviews. It's 16,659 in health and personal care. This column here, okay, let me read this. Units sale per month. All right, that's basically what they're doing here, is looking at how many products are being sold per month. All right, and they do this in a pretty smart way. They've got some algorithm. Obviously, most of these programs have their own little code and algorithm in the background, but they also use the 999 trick. So if you're not familiar with the 999 trick, you can, there's basically what you're doing is you can go into a product and you can order 999 products. And it will say, no, you can't order 999 products because there's only 765 in stock. Okay. All right. So you make a note on your spreadsheet again. All right, it's all manual, 765, today's date. All right, so you then go and do that again tomorrow. Go and order 999. And it'll say, no, you can't order 999 because there are only 500 in stock. You think, crikey, they've sold a lot in one day. Or maybe they've done a quick blast, maybe done a quick promo or something like that. Or 765, oh, they didn't sell any today. So that basically what this program does is that does that trick on each of these. So it is comparing their algorithm with the actual sales by doing the 999 trick. Now, obviously, if someone's got stock more than that, so they've got several thousand in, that trick doesn't work. Okay, but what the software does is that tracks the algorithm over a number of period of days, and that gives you some sort of results. And again, we'll have a look at that in a minute. Now, based upon the sales and the cost of the product, the retail price, we can actually work out the revenue. It's looking at the brand and the FBA, but this is basically the whole of that front page. Okay, and again, we can download this and we can analyze this if we require it. Okay, it's also got the summary. So we've got the top 5 products here. It's got the average of the top 5 across the board on what we're just looking at, and all. Okay, so it's taking, this is just the average, or this is just the summary of this particular detail page here. So we're looking at the top 5 and we're looking at the complete list. All right. So we've got the points table as well. So again, we've got the top 5 here. And it's just giving us some more information with respect to where we are. Retail prices, the average of 74. Okay. And the top 5, all of them 75. So 74, 75, very, very close with respect to the top 5 or all. All right. And again, we've got the blast calculator. Now, what the blast calculator does is that gives us, the blast calculator is, whether that's the correct terminology or not, it's a promotion calculator. So if you're running a promo or something, you're running it through various different programs or a Facebook group or whatever. Basically, you're running a promotion. Okay, and what it does here is telling you how well you would need to do in order to get some results. All right, so copper magnetic bracelet, that's the keyword that we're looking at for this particular product here. We know that it's got 112,637 because we saw that earlier. Okay, it's giving us a relevancy score and a factor. Now, the factor is how important that's going to be with respect to the promotion. Now, you need to get expected sales today too. All right, so if you're running a promo and you've got more than 2 going out, you're doing okay. All right, because that's what this is expected to get based upon the search results and this particular search term. Okay, so again, great piece of information here. I don't think anybody else is sort of doing that. And this averages here, or the summary is a great piece of information. Right, so let's get back to track this keyword. So if I want to track the keyword, I just press this, and I have done already. Right, so I'm just going to go over to here, and once I've pressed that, I go over to the Analyzer tracker. Now, I've already got that tracker open. Okay, and that will bring you over to this page. And you can see I've already got some keywords here I'm tracking for a different product we're looking at. You can see here, and I don't think this is any secret that we're looking after some iPad cases at the moment. So consequently, I've been tracking this for you can see here 26 days now. You know, it's some of the information on here. What I'll do is I will actually go in there and I will track this keyword, and you'll be able to see that come through. If I refresh this page, that should be there already. So we've got our iPad cases here, and we can now see our copper magnetic bracelet now being tracked, and that's now being tracked for 1 day, so I've just added that in. Now let's have a look at some of the information on here. Now, again, this is a lot of information here, guys, so you really need to go over this a number of times. You've got the training video on the platform as well inside the software. It's well worth going over that a number of times before you get used to this. But yeah, let's have a look at the copper magnetic bracelet. Oh, looks like I did add that. So let's go to details. All right, but to start with, we can actually see this is a light green now, so it's still green, so that's pretty good. That's good. We've got our initial investment, copper magnetic bracelet. This is the one I've just added. So the average investment we know is 3,800. The average MOQ that you need to keep in stock is 252. We need to be selling 2 units a day in order to stay ranked on page 1, because this is all about staying on page 1. The average revenue monthly that you're going to be turning over is 6,300. The average revenue on a daily basis, 210. And the average reviews based upon the first page is what you need to be targeting is about 305. That's basically the average of reviews over the first page. So let's go into the details and see where we are. And here we get an awful lot more information, which allows us to make our decisions with respect to, is this a good niche to be in as opposed to a good product to sell? Okay, big difference with that. Now, there's not a lot of information on here because it's just 1 day. So what I'm going to go do is go back, and I'm going to go into one of the ones that I've been tracking for a number of days now on the iPad case. So I'm going to go with, you can see here, so we've got the 5th gen iPad case. We can see that I've selected the medium risk, medium reward, and this is a dark green for this particular keyword. We can see our average investment is 17,000. Average MOQ is just over 1,000. We don't need to rank anything on this particular keyword in order to be on page 1. We are on page 1 for this keyword. The average revenue is around 27,000. And you can see this other detail. But let's go into the detail page for this particular keyword. And let me just load this up. And you'll be able to see some information here just while we're waiting for that. So you can see sort of click spider web. The spider web is the next piece of gold mine that we're going to get into. Right, so let's have a look at some of the sort of the data here, some of the graphs. Now, again, in the training video over here on the Vimeo, Reed does go into this in a little bit more detail that I'm going to, because I know I'm running late on time at the moment. But basically what we do here is looking at 2 different colors. Okay, so there's 2 different colors on each of the different graphs. One of them is the actual investment made. Okay, and the average is the average investment. And the average investment is basically your target. Okay, so the average MOQ is your target. The actual one is what's happening on the listing itself. All right, so on this particular keyword, over not just one particular product, but over the front page. All right, so it's over the niche itself. So you've got to remember that, as we're not just tracking one product, we're not tracking one ASIN, one SKU, we're checking this keyword over the front page. So if you've got 16 items on a page, it's over the whole 16 listings. Sometimes you've got 24 on a page. So it's over the entire front page. All right. So basically what you got to try and do is just try and get to as close as the blue line as possible, or the average line as possible. You can see here that, you know, we've had and a larger investment on this particular day. But it is pretty close. So it's pretty close. So over the whole page, it's been pretty close to the average of where we want to be on the target. And again, the MOQ, the minimum order quantity, we know that that's the MOQ over here is 1,010. I don't know how you get 0.33, but it's 1,010. And you can see here that, in most days, it's been pretty close. And if you hover over one, it will tell you exactly what that is each of the times. So if I hover over the average there, it's got the 896. If I then over the column, it's got 1,500. So you can see that there's various different discrepancies, let's say, but that's over the entire page, don't forget. So it's analyzing, and it's doing this by doing the 999 trick as well as the internal algorithm that this particular software uses. So it's a double check all of the time throughout everything. Now, again, what we're looking at here is product viability. Now, the ideal investment we're looking at here is the blue line. Okay, product viability is our pink line. And again, we can see that we are doing pretty okay with respect to, yep, we're on course, and we're trying to stay around this particular target line of the blue. Again, we know that we don't need to be ranking anything or selling anything to rank on this particular. We own this particular keyword, and you can see that here is just on the 0. But it would actually tell you you need to be selling X amount in order to get there. Monthly sales, we're not actually seeing any results here, but over on the right hand side you can see the reviews, and again it's taken the average of the top 5 in the blue, and it's taking from this particular keyword the average of these all the reviews, and again you've got to try and target where they, and if it's close to the blue, you know it's doing good. If it's deviating a lot, you think there's something not quite right here, so you need to start to analyze it. But again, that's over the top 5 products on the front page, not just one single SKU. Overall sales averages. Now, again, this is where they do the 999 trick again, as well as their algorithm. Now, the pink line is the actual averages per sales. The dark blue columns are the BSR sales. Yeah, so if we remember, we went back into that that data page where we had the BSR of 6,500. Well, if you work out 6,500 in clothing, you should be selling X amount. But they also do the 999 trick, as you can see in the light blue, and you can see we've got sold 41 products back on the 29th of last month, whereas the algorithm is saying 51. All right, so we're 10 apart on this particular day. But we've got the average of 46. Over here, we're pretty close. And again, we've got some discrepancies at the back end. But the key thing is to look at the 2 and take the average of the 2, just to make sure that, 1, this is a steady selling product. All right, so we're looking at the demand over a period of time. Okay, so I would be very, very concerned if this was starting at the 60 and coming down to 0, or it was 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, then a big spike, then nothing again. But you can see here that we're selling a reasonable amount every single day. Look at obviously where we started out back here, it's just selling 2 sales. But over the last few days, we can see that the average is 17 sales. We can 40 sales up the top here. Maybe we've done a quick someone's done a quick blast in the top 5 here, and they've got 57 sales, which increased that number somewhat. So we can see here that we've got a steady demand. It's like we're selling products every single day. Every single day we're selling products, which is great. Okay, and that's not just on one product. I've got to reiterate this, not just on one product. This is the overall results. Okay, so this is the niche results. So this niche sells products. Right, search results on page 1. Here, we can actually go in and have a look at any individual item. So this particular one here, we've got the number of units sold. We can see the number of units sold for this particular brand. Okay, now again, if you want to go in and detail any of these, we can go through. So we've got this one down here, for example. And again, you can see where they've been doing blasts, for example. So down here, this is a pretty good example where they've been doing, I keep on calling it blast. It's got blast down there, but it's a promotion. Okay, so if you've got a promotion at any time, you'd normally be able to see that. And you can clearly see that here. They've got a steady sales of around the 50 units a day, 50 units a day. All of a sudden, we're up at 145. That doesn't happen out of accident. You know, that's got to be a promotion or a lightning sale or something like this that these particular seller is operating on this particular day. Next day, back down to normal. So one would assume there's going to be something like a lightning deal or something like this, where it's special just on one particular day, and then it's back down to normal. Again, they're doing it again here, 146. So you can see that this particular seller is running that promotion on a fairly regular basis, and he's having a pretty good results. Why is he having a pretty good results? He's ranked 33 in computers and accessories. 33 in computers and accessories. That's doing a pretty good job, I would say. All right, so this gives you a lot more information from an individual point of view. Okay, off-page results. Well, this is basically page 2. All right, so this is page 2. So you can actually dive into any of these as well. So it does actually give you this a lot of information past. It looks like it's going to be 2 and 3. All right, so again, if you want to go into any of this information with respect to some of these other brands, some of these other products, see how well they're doing, you can actually have a look at that. So you know what, if I was on page 2, what would I need to be doing, and what's this particular product like? All right, so again, great information, niche orientated for a particular keyword. This particular keyword that we're looking at here, we're ranking for, is 5th gen iPad case. Go and check it out, see where we are. Okay, I believe we're in spot 1 at the moment. Brand name nutcase. So here is telling us the overall niche and how we're looking at that. Let me go back, all right, because this is the next piece of awesomeness. Now, I apologize if you're expecting an hour. I think I'm going to go over probably by 10 minutes today. But spiderweb, all right. So we can see here on here, I've got click spiderweb. Now it's got 1 to 5, and you can have up to 5 spiderwebs. Now what a spiderweb is doing is, because this is tracking the 5th gen iPad case over the entire niche as a keyword to see how we're performing, and that's telling me I'm doing okay because I'm dark green, and that's giving me statistics down here. New iPad case, on the other hand, is more of a risk to me because it's the yellow one. All right, it's the yellow one, but I've added it to my spider. So I've clicked number 1 here. I've clicked number 1 here. Now what the spider web is going to do is going to amalgamate all of these particular statistics and data and put it into one analytical calculator and give me the results for everything. So everything that I'm tracking for this, so I'm going to go 5th gen iPad case, new iPad case, 2017 iPad case for kids. Now this is obviously a risk for me here because it's showing me a bright red. Okay, and I know that this particular keyword is not performing as well as some of the other ones. So this is pretty accurate from my knowledge. But again, I've added it to my spiderweb number 1. Let's come down, have a look, see what else we're doing. iPad case 5th generation. Again, it's a red, but the 2017 5th gen case is nice green. All right, so again, I've added that to number 1, number 1. All right, so what I've done now is I've come down to my spiderweb tracking, and you can see here that all of the keywords that I've listed above are now in this one giant calculator that's analyzing everything for me on these keywords over this particular niche. And again, if we go into the details, it's going to give us a similar report to what we just saw for the individual keyword, but now we're getting even more information out. Okay, so again, we're looking at these particular keywords over the entire niche with respect to how well we're doing and what we need to be doing. So the average investment, we can see that. this is going in up and around the between 5,000 and I guess $17,000 per month. Okay, the MOQ, and again, that's hovering. If I do an average on there, I guess that's around 1,000 units per month that we need to be looking at. So that's going up there to 1,400, come down to 300. So the average there I need to be looking at in order to do well on all of my keywords, okay, to stay on page one, is I need at least 1,000 units in stock. All right, product viability. Again, we've got the ideal investment up here in blue. Okay, now they've set this at 4.5. I question the reason why it's 4.5. It's just an arbitrary number because it's just an average that you need to target. It's the product viability which changes on a daily basis with respect to if you're getting close to that blue all of the time, you're doing okay. Yeah, in other words, all of these keywords are doing well, whereas we know that some of them are not and some of them are. So that would be why we're sort of deviating a little bit over this period of time. Number of reviews. Again, we're looking at the top 5 reviews on an average in the blue, and all of the reviews average in the red. So we can see that there's a lot of people on there, got a lot of reviews. If I just hover over that particular one, this particular day is just a few days ago on the 12th. It's got the 1,339 reviews on the top 5. The average on that same day is 1,093. All right, so you can see this varying over time, but if we're sticking close to the top 5, that's where we need to be. Again, we've got our BSR calculator here, or analytical results, and we can see they're doing the 999 trick on the actual sale, and they're doing the BSR calculation from the algorithm on the dark blue, with the pink line in the back being the average of the two. Now, again, this is great because it's showing us that the niche, not a particular product, not a particular ASIN, not a particular SKU, but the whole niche on that front page has got a steady demand, and we're selling quite a lot of units on a daily basis. So if I would just basically just draw a line straight through here, and I think the average is probably around 15 units a day, probably going up a little bit towards the back end. So if I call it 15 units a day, I'm selling 15 units a day. I'm a happy money. All right, so that's basically, you can't get that just by tracking one particular SKU, one ASIN. All right, and anything else out there at the moment, that's basically all they're doing. This is tracking, don't forget, all of the products on the first page. All right, and it's telling me that this is a steady demand. Yeah, it's a steady demand, but there are risks involved. There are risks involved because we know there are, because some of these discs were red, some were yellow, but some were green. So the idea here is to basically go back through, and on this particular word, you know, where we had the Excel open up, I would do exactly the same on that particular product, the iPad case, and go through each of these keywords based upon relevancy, all right, and run the analytic tool again just to see where we are and see if I can improve what I'm doing. So each time I make an improvement, that means improvement in product sales, in product business. I'm improving my business standing inside Amazon. I can't do that unless I've got the data to use. Now, this gives us an awful lot of data. Now, I think basically that's where I am at the moment. And what I want to do is I just want to go into the costs, because I know a few people here have asked with respect to how much it is. And like Rob said earlier, if you do purchase from our link, we will actually sit down with you and go through this, whether that's a one-on-one or a small group. When I'm talking about a small group, probably about 3 to 5 people in a group, and we can go through that together. But basically what you get here is you get a 14-day trial for free, so you can check it out, and you can do basically everything I've just done. All right, so you can basically do that, and you can track a number of different products You can track 5 keyword groups. All right, so you can see that I had a number of different groups in the back end here. So you can do that. You can check that out for 14 days. If you don't like it, then just cancel it. Job done. But you've got some information from that to start with. All right. So then you got into the starter pack, which is $39.98. And as you're moving forward, as you're getting into a bigger business, as you're growing your business, it just naturally means that you just need more information, because you're building a business, you're looking at different keywords, you're building your brand out, or you're putting in more products up on Amazon. So therefore you would need a slightly larger plan. Now once you get into the slightly larger plans, obviously they do go up, but that's compensated because you've got a bigger business. You've got the revenue and the income to compensate for the need for a superb tool like this. All right, so it's recommended a 14-day free trial. Absolutely. Get in there. It's well worth it, because you've seen some of the information this is giving. This information is, trust me, it's not available anywhere else. It is really not. The best you can do out there is track a single product, single ASIN, and even then you don't get nowhere near as much information as what the AZanalyzer is giving you. Okay, so if you're happy with that, then obviously it's just going to jump straight into the $39.98 plan, which is pretty okay. The only downside there is no niche website spider webs, which I showed you there. You would need to jump up into the small business plan in order to get your spider webs available. But it does give you everything else, and it gives you really, really cool information, as you can see. So if you've got any questions, now's the time. Otherwise, we can come back to you, and you know how to reach out to us, and just sort of leave a comment below or in one of the contact informations, and we'll come back to you. So, Rob, have you got anything to close on this one? I think we're pretty much done. Guys, I know there's a lot of information I've just been through, and I know I was talking quickly because I just wanted to get this information over to you. I've been using this now for probably about 4 or 5 weeks. I love it. It's the go-to tool now for research and finding new products. If you've got any information, like I said, if you've got any questions, come back to us. So it's well worth rewatching this, watching the other video as well. It's just a lot of information to take in one go. Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
It's an amazing amount of information, and the ability to be able to analyze, look at it. The most important thing is your keywords. I mean, it just has so much in it. And I'm excited that this software is out there, because I think it can be a game changer for a lot of people. And again, if you're interested in purchasing the software, we're going to put a link in the description. You can check out the website at gorillazonline.com, and we'll have this featured there. And the one thing that we do is, like I said, we do get a little bit of a commission on your purchase of this product. So we're willing to do some one-on training for you. It could be in a group of 3 or 4. It could be one-on-one, but it'll be a very small group where we put some people together, and we literally will walk through the program with you together. You can ask any questions. You can ask any questions you want about your business while we're there, or for the future, or whatever it might be. So I think this is a super great product. You can use it for the 2 weeks, check it out. Obviously there's a free version, the free plan, and get your hands in there and start messing around with it. I mean, really, you can't decide how great a product is until you put your hand inside the engine. So that's about 1 hour and 15 minutes. Sorry, we try to keep these around an hour, but I assure you the information you got was definitely worth that extra 15 minutes. So get yourself out there, pick a product, and get your Amazon business started.
Thanks, guys. That's all we got. Talk soon. Bye-bye.